News now from the Kashmir Valley, and yet another instance of targeted killing where a Kashmiri Pandit was shot dead by terrorists in Shopian. In fact, the last rites of Puran Krishan Bhat is being held currently in that area, and in fact he was on his way to an orchard when he was shot dead by terrorists. This comes barely a couple of months after another Kashmiri Pandit, Sunil Kumar, was shot dead by terrorists at an apple orchard in Shopian. Remember, Kashmir's been witnessing a series of targeted killings since October last year. Many of the victims have been migrant workers or Kashmiri Pandits, and in fact this is the 14th such civilian targeted killing which has taken place in Kashmir since March this year.
Killing, brutality, pain that started in early 90s, that horror story is continuing even today. We have seen, as you rightly said, in last 1.5 years, more than 40 Kashmiri Pandits have been targeted by Pak-sponsored terrorists. But unfortunately, even today, many people are in a denial mode. That's what actually the family members here are asking. They are saying that how long this will continue. The one question that is haunting each and every person who is here, they are saying, what has been the fault of Puran Bhat? Because he did not migrate when in 32 years back in early 90s, when because of Pak-sponsored gun culture, many of the Kashmiri Hindus, they chose to flee from that area because of the targeted killing. Puran Bhat's family chose to remain there. But today they feel they had been completely betrayed. Because why the civil society is not coming out? Let me speak to some of them. ये लगातार जो टारगेट किया जा रहा है कश्मीरी हिंदुओं को, क्या कहना चाहेंगे इसमें जो?
मुझे नहीं कुछ कहना है.
I can understand. See, there are some people they want to speak, some people do not want to speak. कुछ कहना चाहेंगे आप बात? See, right now the situation is that the body will be shot while taken for the last rite. That's one of the reasons that there are people who do not want to speak, because you can very well understand what they have gone through. A wife is inconsolable, Sweetie Bhat is yet to reconcile with the fact that Puran Bhat is no more, because just few hours before the killing,
That's right. So this is, of course, Pradeep there reporting from the location there in Jammu, speaking to some of the family members of Puran Bhat. Not many of them commenting, but essentially about the fact that there has been a series of such targeted killings which have taken place in the Kashmir. One of the issues which has in fact been already raised several times by Kashmiri Pandits as well as the civilians over there, and the last journey of Puran Bhat is currently underway in Kashmir. Let me go across to my colleague Pradeep. Pradeep, you were trying to speak to some of the family members a short while back. This is, of course, a very painful moment for all of them. But the fact of the matter is that this is the 14th such incident of targeted killing which has taken place in that region since March this year. And, you know, the anger of the residents on the ground, or even people who are migrant workers who have been targeted like this, is clearly the patience has kind of reached a particular point where people are just looking for answers now.
बिल्कुल आप सही कह रहे हैं. आज काफ़ी आक्रोश है, काफ़ी गुस्सा है, हर एक की आंख में दर्द आपको नज़र आएगा, आपकी आंखों में आंसू नज़र आएंगे. और हर कोई यही सवाल पूछ रहा है कि आप बात करते थे सुरक्षा की, क्योंकि आपका दायित्व बनता है, सरकार का दायित्व बनता है कश्मीरी पंडितों को सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करना. क्योंकि 1.5 साल की अगर हम बात करें, 14 के करीब टारगेटेड किलिंग में कश्मीरी हिंदुओं की जान गई है. क्योंकि ये वो इशू है जिसे पोलिटिसाइज करना नहीं चाहिए, उनके दर्द को समझना चाहिए. हमारे साथ कुछ यहाँ परिवार के सदस्य भी हैं और कुछ कश्मीरी हिंदू से उनसे बातचीत करते हैं. कैसे देखते हैं आप ये जो किलिंग लगातार जो होती जा रही है?
मैं आपके माध्यम से एक ही सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ. क्या जवाब दे दूंगा मैं उस बच्ची को, उसके बहन को, उसके बेटे को? क्या जवाब देगी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इस वक्त जो दावे करे हालात ठीक है? क्या कसूर किया हमने? हमारी कम्युनिटी कौन सा कसूर किया? या 90 से अगर हम कोई ये जेल रहे, क्यों जेल रहे हम? और आज हमें ये गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया दरकिनार कर रही है. वो बाहर से ही जाती तो बाहर से आती, हम कुछ नहीं है, हमारे कंधों पे पहुंच के कहां से कहां पहुंच गए। बड़ा दुख होता है। आज हम यहाँ ये क्या जल रहा है, ये इसकी लाश नहीं जल रही है, ये कश्मीरियत जल रही है। जो दावे कर रही है वो जल रही है। ये कश्मीर का भाईचारा जल रहा है जो दावे लोग करते हैं। ये मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, ये कोई तरीका है? हमने हमारी कम्युनिटी किया क्या कसूर है हमारी कम्युनिटी का?
देखिए, हर कोई सवाल यही पूछ रहा है कि ये कह रहे हैं कि मैं कैसे।
Right, those are some of the voices which we're getting from the family members as well as people who have gathered to pay their last respects, but essentially asking questions of the authorities and also raising very particular points with regard to the fact that a series of these targeted killings are continuing unabated, what the government there and even the locals, of course, term as terror attacks. But nonetheless, the family members there looking for answers. And then another unfortunate death taking place of a civilian there who has a Kashmiri Pandit who's been killed in a terror attack in Shopian. Now, while speaking